Shit fire, where'd you get that bitch Camaro? What you got in there? 7-liter LS, big cams, blow popping out of the hood, but that thing fast tail, dang, blow doors off, anything import, no problem. Can I get a ride in it? Camaro. It's angry, it's stylish, it's bold, and it's loud. From Chevrolet's point of view, the Camaro was born out of necessity. From conception to execution, it was created with one purpose and one purpose alone: to destroy the Mustang. This is everything you need to know to get up to speed on the Chevy Camaro. This episode of Up to Speed is brought to you by Vincero Watches. Shouts to Vincero for sending me this cool bad boy. It looks good. It's really well engineered. Speaking of really well engineered, let's talk about Camaros. Chevy entered into the 1965 model year looking to overtake Ford in all their categories, and their plan was threefold. They introduced their Chevelle to compete with Ford's Falcon, they completely redesigned the Impala, and they made them both available with the race-inspired Super Sport package. The nimble Nova and the new Chevelle outsold Ford in the small and mid-sized market, and the 65 Impala dominated the full-size American market. They sold over 1 million units. 1 million! 1,000,000. And as far as I can find, that record still stands. Full size, check. Mid-size, check. Small car, check. We won all three categories, am I right, boys? Wrong! What?
Mustang.
Ford debuted the Mustang in 1964 and created an entirely new class, the pony car. How could Chevy beat Ford in a class that we don't even have a freaking car for? Guys, when we talked in January, we said we wanted to beat Ford in every class. Who's on this? Seth? I can't fire you because you're my brother and I love you, but I am mad and I'm not sitting by you at dinner tonight. Here's a surprise: like almost every other two-door sports car we've ever talked about on the show, someone at a competing company saw a Mustang and was like, dang, dude, that's a good idea. We need to do a car like that. Without delay, the same year, Chevy head Bucky Knudsen, the guy in charge of Chevy, Bucky Knudsen, the guys responsible for the record-setting Impala, Irv Rybicki and Henry Haga, and told them to make a new car that would beat the Mustang. Chevy codenamed the project Panther, and the team prioritized aggressive, sleek design, a wide wheelbase, and sport-inspired performance. Then, in 1966, Chevy set another record, this time for the biggest phone call ever. Chevrolet General Manager Pete Estes announced the Camaro on a 14-city conference call with the press. He says, "The Panther is dead, long live the Camaro." Click. Straight up hangs up. Everybody in the press is like, I think a Panther died. What is a Camaro? Happened. Google it. Estes said the name Camaro evokes the camaraderie between man and machine.
Thank you.
He also claimed the name was French. It's not French. When pressed about what the name Camaro actually means, he slyly responded, "It's a small, vicious animal that eats Mustangs." And Estes is the weirdest dude ever. The first generation Camaro was released in 1967, and it took everything that was great about Chevy's aggressive new styling in the Impala and Chevelle and turned that shit up to 11. It had a recessed grille, innovative front and rear fenders, and was available with a 6.5-liter V8. With the Super Sport, Rally, and Z28 packages, the Camaro from its inception has been associated with performance. Ah yes, the iconic Z28 performance package. We've all seen it, but what does it mean? Nothing. It's just the internal Chevy RPO code for the package. Doesn't mean anything. Cars are fun. The Camaro was an effort to compete with the Mustang, but Detroit's a small town, and Ford, aware that Chevy had something up its sleeve, redesigned their Mustang to receive a bigger engine too. Even in its first year, the Camaro, while an impressive, cool little car, was playing catch up to the Mustang. Again, to compete with the Mustang, the second generation Camaro came out 3 short years later. For 1970, it got wider, pushed the headlights outside of the front grille, had a faster looking rear end, and a more prominent rear fender. This is the fish face that people love or hate. You know who loved it? Road and Track magazine. They named the 1971 SS 350 as one of the top 10 best cars in the world that year. And finally, the Camaro outsold the Mustang, though only by a slim margin of 1,000 cars.
I mean, that was close.
The Camaro, because of its origins, will always be compared to the Mustang. But having outsold it in 1970, it could now develop an identity of its own. Chevy was fine with the Mustang being as American as apple pie, because that meant the Camaro could be as American as rock and roll. The second gen had quite a few facelifts through its 11-year run, just like my little brother Tom. Rest in peace. Most notable were the variations to the grille. The Camaro kept getting more Camaro-y. And while still competing with the Mustang, it wasn't in the, hey Mustang buyers, maybe you like this way. You now bought a Camaro because you wanted a badass Camaro. The third generation Camaro rolled out for the 1982 model year. Look, the 60s Camaro looked like the 60s. The 70s Camaro looked like the 70s. And the 80s Camaro? I mean, freaking look at this thing. It's as 80s as Reagan and Bush, or crimped hair, or doing cocaine with your boss, which is apparently a thing that I totally missed out on. In 1985, for my birthday, the Camaro was chosen as the official race car for the International Race of Champions, IROC. And to commemorate, Chevy rebranded the Z28 as the IROC Z. Jean jackets everywhere rejoiced. The 20th anniversary commemorative edition was offered in 1987, as well as a 25th anniversary heritage package in 1992. Camaro, they like anniversaries. The fourth generation Camaro debuted in 1993 on an updated F-body platform. It retained the same characteristics since its introduction in 1967. A two-door body with 2+2 seating and an optional T-top roof or convertible. In 1998, the 5.7-liter LS1 was the first all-aluminum engine offered in a Camaro since 1969. And this one made 325 horsepower. Okay, I know everyone, like the LS is starting to get like, oh my God, it's so boring. But it's a freaking all-aluminum V8 that's the size of a loaf of bread. Weighs less than a B16. If you don't like LS swap cars, you're a hater. Don't be a hater. The Camaro was still pushing that aggressive reputation, but after 2002, production of the F-body platform was discontinued due to slowing sales and a deteriorating market for sport coupes. The Mustang was finally free to prance fancifully across the roads of the American countryside without the fear of being stalked by a Camaro, until in 2010, after an 8-year hiatus, a totally redesigned, retro-inspired, brand new Camaro made its triumphant debut. Finally, it was Ford's turn to play catch up. The 2010 Camaro SS had about 100 horsepower more than the Mustang GT. That's not even fair, right? That's like me fighting any man on earth. If you want to fight me, I'll put $20,000 cash on it. You let me know in the comments. We'll set up a time and a place. The only rule is, it's to the death, and your kids gotta watch. The car looked great. It looked new, and it wasn't like, hey, I'm a crazy Camaro, look how crazy I look. It was meticulous in design and remained true to its 1967 origins. It handled better than ever and could outpace the Mustang on almost any track. On April 1st, 2010, the Camaro was named the World Car Design of the Year at the World Car of the Year Design Awards. The fuck?
And the winner is the Chevrolet Camaro.
It's real? Anyway, congrats, we did it, guys! And the experience of driving it, people love it. It was lighter and more nimble than the Mustang, and in 2016, the Z28 returned and made 505 horsepower.
Motor Trend's 2016 Car of the Year is the all-new Chevrolet Camaro.
It was Motor Trend's Car of the Year. And today, 2017, happy 50th Camaro. The 50th anniversary edition had unique interior styling badges. It's 200 pounds lighter than the 5th gen, and the 2018 ZL1 drops about 60 pounds more. Add to this the optional 650 horsepower. I'm telling you, it's a small, vicious animal that devours Mustangs. And sometimes it turns into a robot and saves Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. From its inception, the Camaro has had one job, and it has done it well. It was designed to rival the Mustang. And aside from an 8-year sabbatical, it has been doing just that for over 50 years. That's everything you need to know to get up to speed on the Chevy Camaro. This episode of Up to Speed is brought to you by Vincero Watches. All you have to do is click the link below. Enter the code WATCHDONUT. You can get sweet discounts on all Vincero products, including watches and sunglasses. What other cars do you guys want us to cover? How many jean jackets do you own? Do you guys think that the Catfish Camaro is like one of the last cars that's still cheaper than it should be? I want the white one with the orange stripes. Check out our Evolution series. We take you through the history of every car in this really cool animated Morphe way. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, and come back every week to watch more Up to Speed, only on Donut. I love you. I love you. Ugh, I have heartburn.